and a big welcome back to the Wee Larder channel. Today we're going to be making a delicious chocolate banana cake, and this is the kind of thing that you might find in a traditional Scottish tea room. They have all sorts of bakes, traditional and modern in style, and it is one of my favourite things to do at the weekend is visit a traditional Scottish tea room. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. You might want to pause at these ingredients here, but to get started we're going to add our self-raising flour into our bowl. So we're going to give that a good sieve through. It does take a minute or so, but it is worth it, so you want to make sure you don't skip this part. We're then going to pop our baking powder into our sieve as well. We're just going to squish that through the sieve. So I don't know about you, but I always find I have so much lumps in my baking powder. Maybe I need to replace it or something. We're going to put our cocoa powder in there as well. You could also use raw cacao powder if you had that to hand instead. That would also work, but I've just used standard cocoa powder here for this recipe. And we're just going to pop it through the sieve as well, just to get rid of any lumps there too. And we're then going to add in our sugar, and now that we have all our dry ingredients together, we're just going to give that a good mix through together, just to make sure that everything is well blended together. So if you mix all your dry ingredients through, just so that it's all completely blended, we're then going to move on to our wet ingredients. So we're going to make a little hole in the middle, and we're then going to add our eggs into there. And we're going to pop our margarine in a small mixing bowl, or just a small bowl, or medium-sized soup bowl or something will do. We're going to pop our bananas in there as well. And we're then going to add in our maple syrup. And our spices. You could have also added your spices into the dry mixture, it doesn't really matter. So we're then going to mash our bananas through with our margarine or butter, whatever you decide to use, and we're just going to make sure that they are well pureed together. So once they are mashed together really well, we're going to pop that into the cake mixture, or the dry mixture. So just make sure we've got all of that out of the bowl there. And we're going to give that a good mix through. You could use a food processor, like a freestanding mixer rather, for mixing this recipe if you want to, but sometimes I find it's just as easy just to use a bowl and just to mix everything together by hand. So we're going to add a little bit of milk. I popped in, I think it was 4 tablespoons, I think it said in the ingredients. But you can add a little bit more if you need to. You're just looking for a really nice cake batter consistency, so you'll kind of get an idea in a minute once this is really well mixed through, the kind of consistency you're looking for. If you need to add in a little bit more or a little bit less even, then feel free to add in a couple of tablespoons at a time and just see how you get on. So you're looking for a nice wet cake batter consistency like so. So we're going to put all of our mixture into our loaf tin here, and we're going to pop it into the oven for 1 hour at 160. So that's a fan oven, so please feel free to adjust if you're using something different. So just make sure that you spread out a little bit just to make sure it's flat on the top as well. And this is completely optional, but I actually added a little bit of white chocolate on the top of this banana cake as well, just for extra chocolatiness, and just because we love chocolate. But you don't have to add the white chocolate on if you don't have that to hand. There's no specific quantity. It really was just some chopped up chocolate buttons that I had that needed to be used up, so I just popped them on here before putting it in the oven, and it was actually really tasty. So I would recommend doing this if you do have them to hand, but if you don't worry, just pop it in the oven as it is. So it should look something like this when it is ready to go in. So 1 hour at 160 will do perfectly, and it should look something like this when it is ready. So it's risen really nice, it's really soft to touch, it's not actually burnt. It does look a little burnt in the picture, but it's just really dark in colour. So just keep a close eye on yours as well, you don't want to burn it. You could maybe put a little bit of foil over the top if you feel it is starting to burn just towards the end of the cooking time. So once it is nice and cool, I've popped it onto a cooling rack just to cool for the rest of the time. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed this delicious chocolate banana cake. It's so tasty, and the kids loved it as well. You could also go that extra mile and have some Nutella or something on it, or even some like nut butter would be really nice on this cake, and even some extra sliced bananas on top as well of a slice would work really well. And don't forget to have a nice cup of tea with it as well. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. If you did, please feel free to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please feel free to hit that subscribe button, and if you click the little bell next to it, I will see you guys again soon. If you want to find out more about traditional Scottish cooking, head over to my website and you can pick up a copy of my free cookbook over there. It's angiemilne.com, and I'm also over on Instagram as well, so pop over and say hello. So take care everyone, I hope to see you all again soon. Lots of love, bye bye.